Check, y'all. Check one. Try that. Nope. Something's going on with it. Part 2 in gear. Can you hear me all right? Or is everything kind of fucky? Classified chappy out of the gate. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Back to normal. All right. Well, welcome to technology. Let's see here. This was an interesting one, and I tried to put the music on, otherwise I would resend the vet, but it's still not coming through that channel. So I'm gonna update the firmware when we're done here. Interesting. AEW star kicked out of school board meeting for trolling with anti-mask rant. So I had seen what's his name, Drake Wirtz, post about a school board meeting that was coming up that he was going to. So I was like, oh boy, here we go. But this is about, I mean, he's sitting right there with them. AEW star Joey Janela, Jelly Nutella, interrupted a Seminole County school board meeting Tuesday and was subsequently kicked out for trolling the officials in attendance and what appeared to be a Borat type appearance. Janela was at the meeting, as was released WWE referee Drake Wirtz, who has been actively protesting against the mask mandate in recent months. Wirtz has also promoted conspiracy theories related to QAnon. Okay. After getting kicked out of the meeting, Janela tweeted, "I was kicked out within 5 minutes for yelling at a doctor or something. He was a liar." As seen in the video below, Janela can be heard going on a rant around the 2 hour, 10 minute, 25-second mark, which appears to be him trolling. Wirtz's speech can be heard around 1 hour, 44, 10-second mark. Wirtz continued to insist that children shouldn't be forced to wear a mask, also explained why he's against vaccinations. Wirtz, formerly known as Drake Younger, was released from WWE last month in the aftermath of the release. Report surface of Wirtz picking up significant backstage heat in WWE due to his political beliefs. But here is Janela going to, I don't know, maybe he's boys with Wirtz, maybe they're best friends, I don't know. But going to troll and, doesn't really have any kids. I see opinion havers, our own vets in the chat room. Appreciate you, bro. Sorry for the issue this morning. Was really looking forward to hanging with you, dude. But for some reason, even in this second one, it's not playing the music through that channel. So something's got to be fucking updated. But thanks for the email. Letting us all know that. No, I can't say that because Road hooked us up. Shout out to Roadcaster Pro. Apparently this is something we just got to test. Nothing to get pissed about. Free tech, man. But yeah, dude, Joey Janela, I don't think he has any kids. I could be mistaken. Definitely a CZW connection with Joey and Drake there. So they've probably known each other for a long time. And then Janela just kind of belittles and makes us all look stupid because he's going to go in there and do a Borat piece that's not going to get over. That's just really to pop Drake Wirtz in the sheets and dress like a normal average fucking guy in sunglasses and, flannel t-shirt, flannel shirt and hat. It's just like, I don't know why Drake Wirtz would, maybe it's self-sabotage of what he did backstage in the meeting talking about all lives matter when they're trying to do the BLM thing and just stay small and put heat on yourself. And then he went on and did the rant with his NXT shirt on at the school board digital meeting. Just stupid moves from workers who should know better. And with Janela doing this, putting his name in the headlines again, you work for one of the biggest SJW companies there fucking is. And now you want to do the anti-mask thing. I'm down with that. I'm down with all that fucking, real life politically. But like as a worker who's already not featured too heavily and you got fucking, the whole LGBTQ movement side of your company, the whole, with Cody and Brandy and the pride for interracial, this and that. I'm not saying that those guys are against any of that stuff, but when you do anti-mask and anti-vax and go hard in the paint, you paint yourself into right wing. You know what I mean? Or just people who have open eyes and views and aren't swayed or aren't selling out to the marketing. And he works for the company that does that the most. Will this come back to bite Joey Janela in the ass big time, to just doing a bit, unless he's going to make this his thing where he's like Joe the Plumber, which I don't mind. We got Joey Janela. Why not be a Joe the Plumber type? Because whatever he's doing right now isn't working. So Joey Janela is smart enough to rock the boat and pop the internet to get fucking likes, but he also marks out for the internet and says a lot of shit that he doesn't back himself up on, like the Dylan Bostic, I'll kick your fucking ass, even though Dylan did get shorted by Khan and AEW on small money. And then when it's time to fucking say, all right, bro, let's put the gloves on. You want to fucking go on Triller and fucking make some extra cash and take some internet beef. He pussies out, so, and that's just the way it is. But when it comes to marketing and Joey Janela creating buzz, I got to put him over. I don't know the guy, so I can't speak to him, whatever. I just can judge him by his actions. And if you're going to call somebody out that you're going to beat the fuck out of him, you won't fight him, and then you pussy out, well, that's how you look. So, that's that. But this is a weird thing to go and back your boy up and then do a bit, because after he did his, like, I understand that they all are spotlight addicts and you think it'd be funny and it'll go viral. But if you were there with Drake Wirtz and he's trying to make fucking real points and says what he needs to say, then you come over and do the bit over the top. They just dismissed you both as fucking clown ass wrestlers, man. So, I get you're making ribs. Janela and Smart don't belong in the same stratosphere, but the guy's made his name doing like these alt mud shows and whatever stupid shit, jumping off of stuff through stuff. So smart enough to fucking get eyes on him to get a job when he probably should have never really had one. I don't know. I see a lot of young Jericho in him, but young Jericho was a far better and smarter worker and didn't have social media to ruin himself on. So that's that. Indie Star makes NXT debut with new ring name. Former Indie Star Carissa Rivera made her NXT debut this week using the show Elektra Lopez as a ring name. I don't mind that fucking name either. She fought Frankie Monet, Taya Valkyrie, whichever, and Taya goes over on her. But, dude, I was down with this because they're both voluptuous women. They both have that Marilyn Monroe physique. They both got the big gimmicks, fake or real, I'm not sure. But they're not, a size 2 with arms that look like a skeleton with skin covering them, like some other girls that I could point out on their roster. And I'm not saying it's about big gimmicks and hips and ass, but that's what sells too. And both these girls did a good job. Elektra Lopez did a good job getting Frankie Monet over, and she looked sexy, and they did character stuff, and it was good. I see money on her too. So I thought she did a good job in her debut on NXT. So I look forward to seeing more of her. And I just like real looking women. You know what I mean? That's what my wife is too. And my wives, I guess I should say, I've got them all shapes and sizes, but I thought these two, when they were in the ring, I go, now that's a woman. That's what I like, pal. That's what I like, pal. God damn. Let's see. That you can disagree with whatever you want, man. I appreciate it. All opinions welcome at HMG. Everybody knows that. The Diamond Mine is now open for business in NXT. I mean, this is the end of the show, so I'm kind of shotgunning it. But what a complete letdown this was. After weeks of mystery MMA themed vignettes on NXT TV, the Diamond Mine debuted at the end of this week's show, including Roderick Strong, Tyler Rust, and Hideki Suzuki, with Malcolm Bivens as their manager. I think this Malcolm Bivens guy has got good charisma, but man, this is the wrong use of like all these guys together. And dude, I just started watching NXT when Roderick Strong was like, I've had enough, and I left. So that was like 2 months ago. And Hideki Suzuki, no idea. Tyler Rust, no idea. Not over for either of those guys. So I can't really pass judgment on them. But like what I saw last night and whatever they did in this little beatdown at the end on Kyle O'Reilly, and Kushida, leaving Kushida laying, dude. Suzuki is standing there as emotionless and like not giving a shit as possible. Like at one point I thought he was sleeping while he was standing. Like it looked like he was going to fall forward sleeping. No emotion, whatever. Tyler Rust is looking at Roderick Strong, like, what are we supposed to be doing? And Roderick Strong's just staring ahead with a thinning gray hair, so he doesn't in a 2-month beard. That apparently that's supposed to be the difference. He's supposed to be a tough badass now. And then and I'm not trying to say race wise or anything like that, but then we have the manager who looks kind of like a preacher. Saying things and not cutting the promo and like trying to put focus on him like a manager should onto his guys, but there's no energy that matches what he's trying to do. It was a very, let's throw these guys in a blender that we've got nothing for them. We'll try and come out. We'll call them the Diamond Mine. What does that mean? They're all diamonds in the rough. Like they all can shine on their own, but we've got a whole group of them. I don't know, like, maybe I don't know about Hideki Suzuki and Tyler Rust, but dude, this was not the way to go off air, in my opinion, with these guys. And whatever little things we've been getting vignette wise, this doesn't really reinforce it. Just because you go out and get some fucking matching jackets and stand in a line, dude, I thought it was Walter's crew. I thought it was Imperium. It's a complete fucking identical feel to it, man. Like, I don't know, man. It was not what it needed to be, but maybe they can make it work. But first impression, okay. It's just like, it feels like developmental to me, bro. When they really should be making Roderick Strong into his own. And I think they did out of Undisputed, but into his own character. He can go. But he's losing that college frat boy look, which might not be the worst thing, but whatever it was last night with trying to be grizzled and chiseled with a beard wasn't, if that's what you're dependent on, we got big problems. You know what I'm saying? In the biggest story of the night, and I think we can all rejoice for this, WWE NXT star Toni Storm comes out as bisexual. So let's all give a big round of applause for that. I mean, that's huge. That's big for all of us. Earlier today, WWE NXT star Toni Storm, Tony Cakes, took over WWE's NXT's Instagram as part of NXT honoring Pride Month. During the takeover, Storm took the opportunity to talk about why she agreed to participate and officially came out as bisexual. She said, so when it was announced I'd be taking over for Pride Month, I noticed a lot of people were like, Tony, are you just an ally? Are you in the community? What's going on here? Storm said, well, I guess now is a good time to say both. I'm an ally, and I cannot exactly say that I'm straight. I'm bi, and it feels good to say. And it's something I've been really comfortable with for a long time. I never just really expressed it. I don't know. I just really never found the right time, and it's Pride Month, and I'm on Instagram, so now's as good a time as any, I guess. Well, sure it is, sweetheart. So, when you close your eyes tonight and you're going to have some sweet dreams, I think that's the fuel right there. You know what I'm saying? Really, really, really sexy, of whatever it is. So girls can get some cake too, have their cake and eat it too, I guess, at the same time. So it's, obviously her sex appeals through the roof. She's got the ass gimmick going, and she hasn't been on TV for 2 weeks. So maybe she wasn't bisexual, and this is just a way to keep her in the mix. If so, good work. And if you really do like chicks, more power to you. And I would love to see some home movies, but I doubt that'll happen. Let's see. Yeah, she got her liquor license. All right, so we'll move right on to the show. WWE NXT results, Karrion Kross attacks, Frankie Monet's encore, Samoa Joe, Hit Row, and more. So this is Wrestle Stinks coverage. Appreciate them putting that up there so I don't have to take notes. I do enough note taking on SmackDown and Raw, and I would probably have been super heated last night. But Victor Joseph welcomes us. He's joined at ringside by Wade Barrett and former Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix. Man, a lot of guys in the chat were tough on Beth on commentary. I mean, maybe not my favorite, but I was kind of Beth Phoenix's young boy when I first got to OVW, and I got a ton of respect for her, and watched her whole some of the best parts of her career, to be honest with you, were in developmental, I think. The Jacob Duncan storyline, stuff she did with Katie Lee, ODB, and Serena was all fucking great. And she was always cool to me. So it's tough for me to be critical of Beth because I got a soft spot in my heart for her. And but if you guys feel that way, that you're not enjoying it, then sometimes she adds to it, and then sometimes it's I will say it's a little bit too much of the hard sell, but that's what she's getting paid to do, man. And she's Beth Phoenix. So you fucking tell her because she'll probably whoop your ass. Adam Cole versus Carmelo Hayes to kick it off. Man, I don't know if I need to fucking go through all this and put her away. In the end, Cole keeps control and delivers a suplex in the middle of the ring. Neck breaker, Hayes goes for a move, but Hayes counters and drops him face first. Cole kicks out. Jesus Christ, this goes on forever. Cole hits Panama Sunrise for the pin and the win. This is what I got to be critical of, this match, bro. This match was brutal, brutally fucking wrong in a lot of ways. We got this guy, Carmelo Hayes, who was just rebranded, and they told his indie name last week, but now he's going to be called Carmelo because he's a Carmelo Anthony fan or whatever the fuck, Shout out Syracuse, rookie year. Him and G-Mac winning the fucking title. That was phenomenal. But, dude, this was so wrong. Cole, I don't know, man. Maybe he's been sick and he's small, but, dude, the fact that I can't see hardly any definition on him, and then we've got a Tommaso Ciampa or even an Oni Lorcan or somebody along those lines who looks just fucking great. Here's this guy over here, Carmelo Hayes, and he looks fucking phenomenal. Brick shit house, you know what I mean? Definitely got 40, 50 pounds on Cole in muscle mass. But then in this match, Cole has fucking got him on the outside, and he's swinging him, and he's doing front flips, this Carmelo Hayes kid, into the goddamn barrier. Cole's super strong and could beal this fucking guy. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 5 times with the commercial break while I was watching it. Wrong. Dude, this is where the problem is, because Adam Cole, as long as he's been around and he's in the cool kids club from the Elite to fucking Shawn Michaels' boy or whatever the fuck, dude, his head is whacked in the bubble, dude. He thinks he's so jacked. He thinks he's so strong. He's so over. And even the promo, he's calling it my locker room, and I'm the king of the locker room, to shit on Kross because they're playing that level of politics. And some fans won't know how deep that is, but you can see how insecure and cutthroat, in my opinion, and that's in the chat. I see if he agrees with me, of how things must be backstage right now, where they say it's a team. I don't think any of them are that good of workers to be laying that kind of work shoot storyline on. And then, Cole doesn't realize that he needs to be out quicking guys, out athletic guys, and not being strong and hucking a dude who's 50 pounds heavier into the fucking barrier with a Beal. And this kid, God bless him, if you believe in that kind of thing, Carmelo Hayes, is doing what he is told to do, because in his, in the pecking order, Cole's up here. So he's going to call the match to him and not say, nah, bro, I'm in way better shape. I look like a fucking linebacker and you look like the water boy, kind of. And I'm not going to be fucking letting you chuck me around like that. Let's fucking tease it. And I shoot reverse and you do something athletic to get yourself over, because that's all he's really trying to do is get himself over, is look how badass and strong I am. He's not that guy. So even Cole's perception of himself is absolutely wrong in the way he's putting his matches together and not even working 50-50. He's working 70-30 that he's stronger than the fucking strong guy is. So Cole's psychology sometimes really, I like it when they're working a hold and they're going back and forth and then they blow it out their ass with these egregious spots, which we'll get to in the main event, which absolutely broke my heart. But fucking this match was terrible, in my opinion, not because of missed spots and botches, but because of not knowing who you are and how you need to work and how to shine the guy up the right way. He buried Carmelo Hayes by doing that stuff. Carmelo Hayes doesn't look strong to me anymore. It should have been all things to show how strong and much bigger Carmelo Hayes is, with Cole slipping out. Gorilla press slam, slips out the back, hits him with the O'Connor roll, like fucking push him off, get up, and then Hayes can cut him off. So Cole needs to sell. Instead, Cole's getting all the offense in, and he's not selling worth a shit, bro. So this was really disappointing in the beginning, and it to me, it speaks louder that something's going on in the NXT locker room where Cole has his place as a top guy etched out, and the younger dudes, they're not looking up to him. They're just doing whatever he's telling them to do in the ring, no matter how wrong and how ignorant it is, dude. Cole's been there for X amount of time, even cuts the promo on Joe saying, you haven't been here. There's a new king in town, da-da-da. Well, you've been there that long, and apparently you haven't learned fuck all. Because there's no way you could even go up to the main roster and stand next to fucking Chad Gable and try and look big like you're going to throw somebody around. So Cole isn't practicing what he needs to really get over, which is be on the cell, be underneath, take big bumps, out athletic and out quick people. I didn't see any of that in this match. I saw a guy who's fucking 5'8", 145 pounds, trying to act like he's a 6'3", 260 pounder, and it ain't working, pal. So I hope they get it, but I think he's so far in the bubble that he doesn't. After the match, Cole stands tall, fucking hits the music. We go to replays. Cole stares down Hayes as he has his arm raised in victory. He's so tough, don't you know? And announcers hype Cole versus O'Reilly 2 at Great American Bash. Cole makes his exit. We see a video today of Frankie Monet hanging out with Aaliyah and Jess Camia. Looking forward to their match tonight. Mean Girl shit. And Robert Stone walks in, and he's got a jacket on. And I popped for this. This is where I'll put Beth Phoenix over, because later in the match she put it over. He doesn't have a shirt on, but he's got like these straps, and then it come out from under his jacket and strap across his fucking onto the lapel buttons of his jacket, this baby blue powder suit, which is asshole enough, which I like. I'm a big Robert Stone fan. He gets it. He gets what he needs to be in every scene and how to add to it. And even if he doesn't have any lines, his wardrobe will make you hate him because he wears it like an asshole. And later Beth Phoenix says, is that a training bra that he's got on? And I fucking was laughing hard at that, man. But big Robert Stone fan. And I kind of like this with Frankie Monet with those girls with the backup, because it's saying yes and to the Frankie Monet character. And those girls might have already been doing the mean girl thing, but now that we're together and we got the slime bag manager around, that's interesting. And it feels kind of like Jersey Shore stepped up of what Robbie did before, but it feels like Beautiful People to me, the mean girl thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's good. I mean, everything old is new again. And I'm not trying to say the Beautiful People are old, because they're both still in their prime. There's no doubt about that. put Velvet Sky and Angelina next to any of these girls, and you're gonna be like, damn, you know, now that's a woman. So yeah, dude, I don't mind though. The Mean Girls thing's been going on forever. Can they put their own spin on it? I think they can. Taya was doing it in Impact as well, so she gets it. I really like Taya's entrance and I think she's making her own costume, because she has a designer that does those baby doll. They're like big, I don't even know what you call them, chiffon, I guess, fucking dresses, that really light material that makes you look like a big cotton ball or powder puff or whatever the fuck it is. But I liked her entrance with the big robe, and then she drops it when she's on the apron. And I really, really like the graphics for Frankie Monet too, man. They had this big X thing, and then she's standing there, and then behind it it's like a red carpet that's moving away, kind of like the Jamiroquai video where he's not moving at all, Virtual Insanity, and the background's moving, and it just really worked. It was a really cool visual thing for her to get over in her entrance, and it was red carpet and makes her look like the Hollywood star, the Marilyn Monroe they're trying to portray her as. So I think that fucking worked really, really well when she enters. We haven't got there yet, but Mackenzie Mitchell's backstage with Zoe Stark. What'd they say last? Somebody, I think Armand said Zoe Stark looking like Juan Epstein. That was cold. It was funny, but it was cold. She says she saved Io Shirai last week. Shirai gives her a big break when she came to NXT and was paying it back. Shirai ends up appearing and says she respects Stark, but doesn't like her. Shirai walks off. Stark says mutual respect is all they need, and they're going to be tag team partners later. Simple scene. Dude, Io Shirai, I haven't watched a lot of her stuff, but even in just this little walk-on and when I saw her later, very confident. I think, very prepared, and maybe I could be wrong in this, but from what I saw last night, there was a lot of the same stuff that Asuka has, and when you see Asuka, she's competent in the ring, she's ready to go, and she's trying to do more emotion-wise and go over the top, which we can dial back, but you kind of can't take your eyes off her to some degree, and I saw some of that last night, so I like that, dude. I like that a lot. Back from break, we get the video package with the $1 Million champ LA Knight sitting by the pool. He's bragging about winning the title belt and turning on DiBiase. He brings up Cameron Grimes, and he came out to save DiBiase, cuts the promo on Grimes, calls him a hill jack, and that he went to save the old man while didn't have his eyes on the prize, So that'll be nothing compared to when Knight drops Grimes on his head next. So obviously this feud's got long-term business attached to it. I think that's, I don't keep on calling Eli Drake. LA Knight is doing great with this. I thought this promo was good. He has the hot girl deliver him champagne. It's just the visual by the poolside in the mansion. It's all it needed to be, just recutting it in case somebody missed the last 2 weeks. You would know what was going on here. And he delivers, man. We go back to the ring, and the way Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory make their way to the ring. Gargano takes the mic and says, "These are exciting times. We've got new management, which means we need a new NXT champ and a new face of the brand. We don't need the mean leather-wearing guy, Doomsday guy." And so he's taking a shot at fucking Cross there. We need Gargano. Gargano says NXT thrived and was its best during his 57-day reign as champion. Gargano says he's proved to take over the Cross is not on his level. Gargano says he's outclassed Cross every time they were in the ring together, and everybody knows he can out-wrestle Cross on Gargano's worst day, dude. I don't know why they're fucking letting each other tear down. Like, I don't know why they're letting them go at Cross like this, because these shoot bang bang things that these smaller guys who are very talented when it comes to technical wrestling, but you can't teach size. If you don't have size and you're trying to wrestle like a 260 pounder, but you're fucking like, if you're wrestling a guy who's 150, the same as you, fine. But you can't come out and talk shit to Cross, who is a man, and you look like a fucking 14-year-old boy. And that's just DNA. Like, that's what the fuck happened. I'm not trying to say fuck them because they're small. They can wrestle incredibly, but you can't just be like, I'm the best wrestler. Well, no, you're not, because that man over there, all he has to do is grab a hold of you, and his grip strength, his muscle mass, his leverage, his size, his strikes are going to fucking be way more than you can handle. That's why Mike Tyson doesn't fight fucking Floyd Mayweather. It's brutal. It's brutal that these guys are so paranoid backstage because they want to get up to the main roster badly, but they know they can't because they'll be buried because of their size. And that's what fucking torments them, because they can never be bigger. They're no matter, I mean, Ciampa's about the only one you could say where he's like, that guy is fucking unbelievable because of his size, and the muscle mass he's put on, and that it's believable that he'll still lose to a bigger guy, but you look at him and you're not like, well, maybe he has a chance still. these other guys, you're like, there's no fucking way. So they're paranoid backstage. That's why they keep putting these digs on Cross. And that's bad by WWE letting them do that, because Cross is the money. These guys aren't the money. These guys aren't going to draw. They're not going to you're not going to put them on a poster and people are going to go, wow, look at that motherfucker. You know, like Cross is, and they're paranoid and they're scared of it. But I don't know why you would let them devalue a top property like that, unless that's Shawn really fanning the flame. That feels like some Shawn Michaels shit to me, man. The music interrupts and comes out. Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan. So Gargano delivers a decent promo here. Even the way I read it was kind of more, he did it more comedy wise. And I will say Gargano's got some talent in comedy chops and delivery. I've enjoyed some of his stuff, the way he's delivered it. And the guy behind him, what the fuck's his name? Austin Theory. That guy looks like $1 million too. You know what I mean? But he's doing the comedy shit. So whatever. Pete Dunne comes down trying to look jacked and tan, and I don't know whatever he thinks he is. Pete Dunne has no idea what his voice is supposed to be. He just thinks he's a badass shooter, but a badass shooter doesn't have to rely just on digit locks and finger breaks. That's some fucking we've jumped the shark with that shit. And Pete Dunne, I like the way he wrestles his matches. He slows down, hold the hold, but it always goes back to some corny ass digit lock that's actually illegal. So you're burying the ref every time you do that. But he's kind of been exposed as a one-trick pony in that. When I think he should be like Taz and hitting with mad suplexes, T-bones, Northern Lights, belly to back, Germans, overhead release. Like, that should be the story that he's telling as he tries to get to face Shorty G someday or whatever the fuck. But Dunn comes down and totally throws ice cold water on this scene. It doesn't, just the flow stops as he tells Austin Theory to shut up or Gargano to shut up, and he'll give him broken fingers, and Oni Lorcan looks on when Oni can fucking actually cut a promo better than all of these guys, in my opinion. But they want the spotlight on them to set up a tag match for later. So Austin Theory and Gargano powder, give Lorcan and Dunn the high ground, but then Theory turns around on the apron and says some shit to Dunn with his fingers out so he can get the fucking finger snap on him, and we do a little business that way. We see a video of a Bentley pulling up. Cameron Grimes hops out and tips the guy in the parking lot after they ask how the Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase's doing. Aries Sterling stops him and jokes about Grimes visiting DiBiase in the nursing home. Grimes decks Ari with the right hand, dropping him. Grimes walks off and says that was for Ted. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get who that dude in the back was, who's kind of looks like every Southern dirtbag indie wrestler ever with half dyed hair who's trying to be a Hardy Boy. But he took a punch and got Grimes over, so good on him. He's at NXT and I'm not. McKenzie catches up with Adam Cole in the back, asks about Kyle O'Reilly. He doesn't want to talk about Kyle or Kushida because of what he did to Carmelo Hayes is nothing compared to what he's going to do to O'Reilly at Great American Bash. NXT General Manager William Regal walks up to make sure there's no issues between Cole and Samoa Joe after last week. Regal suggests Cole doesn't provoke Joe. Cole isn't happy with how Regal hasn't reprimanded Joe yet for putting his hands on Cole last week. Cole says he's going to do Regal and everyone a favor by getting out of here. He packs his bags and heads out. I'd be like, okay, thanks for the match, bro. Have a good night. But I knew right away that he was going to run in at the end because we've already played this card twice in the last 2 months where Cole storms off like a fucking child angry and then comes back to do the run-in. So they're running out of bags of tricks with Cole to do anything like that, man. But Cole cuts a good promo, and he's fucking passionate. And even I don't like him talking down to Regal because Regal could whoop his ass anytime he fucking wanted to. It's just not believable with him, you know? And that's too bad that the guy's so into his own bubble that way that he doesn't see where his real money is, because he's not training to make that into something great. Instead, he's just being a fucking locker room dick. And maybe it's all the great work. Maybe he's the nicest guy ever behind the scenes, and I don't know, man. Still to come, Robert Stonebrand versus Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. Back to commercial. Oh, we get back from break and we see the battery charger teaser from last week. This time it goes from 30 to 31%. Oh, what happens when it goes to 33%? Well, who do you guys think the battery charger is? I don't know. Naya's vibrator is going to fucking debut. Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory walked in the NXT general manager William Regal's office. Theory's fingers are taped. Gargano says that they were being model citizens, but Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan interrupted. There need to be consequences. Gargano makes suggestions, including Samoa Joe, choke them out. Regal orders to face Dunne and Lorcan in a tag team match. Yeah, this was weird because I'm going to myself, this is the scene. We didn't need Joe in the scene with Regal and Cole, but we need Joe here in the office. And why is Regal's office all painted black? Like it's a black box theater. I don't get that at all. But you know, when you'd want to get the branding colors over and shit. But yeah, this is where we needed Joe in this scene. You know what I mean? Because Gargano should be talking to Joe. Go choke them out. Why aren't you doing that? Instead, he's persona non grata. Maybe they taped this earlier in the afternoon. Joe wasn't there yet, but Joe needed to be in this scene, especially after the debut last week. Io Shirai, Zoe Stark versus Aaliyah and Jessie Kamiya. Robert Stonebrand watches from the corner. Out comes Io to the big pop. Shirai and Aaliyah go at it at the start. Shirai counters and takes Aaliyah down. There's all this fucking shit. Plenty of falsies, big elbow drops. I like that. They were safe and they looked good too. They're just simple elbow drop, man. You don't need to do a ton of extra shit. I did pop though because they were trying to get their shit in, and the one girl, I think it's what's her name? I think it was Aaliyah, not Jessie Kamiya. I could be wrong. She was wearing blue. I'm not sure. But she does one thing that's athletic and does a roll back and is going to do the fucking nip up and totally doesn't even come close, falls on her, like lands on her ass and stands right up. But that's the indie bullshit of wow, whoa, and then roll, nip up, and they want to do it because they've seen fucking Cole and all these guys do it 100 times in practice or whatever indie match you're watching, and they can't. They could maybe, 5 out of 10 times. If you can't do it 10 out of 10 times, don't do it. And there's no reason for her to do it, to try and get herself over. It made everyone look like women's wrestling. Yeah. Do what you're supposed to do on the card, not what you fucking think is going to get over because the Bucks did it. Back from break, Kamiya controls Stark. Then the way watches from ringside. Yeah, out comes Candice LeRae and Hartwell to watch from the ramp. Shirai tags in and does Kamiya. Shirai runs wild as fans cheer her on. Yeah, they really highlighted her return here well in this match. She stops to look back at the way. Shirai hits 619 on Kamiya. Shirai avoids avoids an Aaliyah attack from the floor, then kicks her in the face on the apron. Yeah, that was good. Shirai with a missile drop kick on Kamiya for a close 2. Kamiya blocks and does a double underhook from Shirai, drops her with a kick to the face. Aaliyah tags and hits Northern Lights suplex on Shirai for a 2 count. Kamiya tags back in for the double suplex, but Shirai lands on her feet. Yeah, they're hitting each other with things, and then all of a sudden, you just hit me in the face with a kick and going for a suplex, but I can flip out of it and land on my feet. I hate that shit. If you're on the cell, be on the cell and take the heat, and then do the falsie. Don't fucking get kicked hard. Do the big cell. Get hooked, and then come back to life instantly like you're 100% video game. I do not like that at all. Stark tags in, and the guys do it a ton too. Stark tags in and levels both opponents at once for a pop. Stark drops Kamiya with a big suplex. Shirai tags back in, goes to the top for a signature moonsault to Kamiya for the pin, Io Shirai. So this was a good ass match, to be honest with you. There's a lot of good stuff in here. But and Zoe Stark too wins. I think she's super talented. But then at the end, that was kind of a good feeling. Like that whole segment worked, aside from a couple of wrestling psychology botches. It got over who it should. But then Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart come down the ramp. You know, and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez on the other side of the apron. And then Shotzi and Dakota do these like overacted promos. We're gonna kick your ass, like shit. Like I get that they're cartoony, but it's just it makes wrestling feel phony instantly. Like there's no heat there, and it's just like we're playing wrestler and we're playing NXT promo. And you know, if anything, where the fuck's the tank? Don't have those girls walk down there. They're supposed to be they get over in their entrance with all that shit, not trying to be badasses. Back from break, we get Tommaso and Thatcher versus tag team champs MSK, confirmed for Great American Bash. That I don't know. From what I've seen lately with Ciampa and Thatcher, they're doing more get your shit in stuff, and I'd rather see them be shooters and let the MSK be the get your shit in guys. I think we're going to have a total one-upsman of doing phony ROH spots in this match instead of shooter stuff, which I'd rather see from Thatcher and Tommaso. Let the other guys shine on that shit. Ben, that was great. Sounded like Keller imitating Braun. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, she's doing Braun Strowman promos now. Shotzi Blackheart. And I can barely tell them apart. Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory versus Oney Lorcan versus Dunn. This is, you know, a solid match for NXT fans. And like I said, Dunn works a lot of really good slow heat and locks, but everything is always turned into that put your hand in backwards, like I'm going to stomp your elbow or stomp your arm, like Shayna Baszler was doing in the digit lock things. It's just really jumped the shark. And I just can't connect to Pete Dunne. I was looking at him, I was like, he's got such a unique, I don't know, old school look. Could you put him with Baron Corbin and really get the, I don't say get it over because it's already jumped the shark and it sucks, but breathe new life into the Game of Thrones kind of angle type thing, because he looks like that old school 1600s, you know, heel, the shitbag heel, like the one guy who was torturing, it's fucking, I can't remember. He cuts a dude's fucking cock off and everything in Game of Thrones. But in the end, he gets eaten by his own dogs, which was awesome. But he's got that evil battlefield feel to me, you know, Middle Ages. And if you got, like I said, we had Frankie Monet, it's there. We put the other two mean girls with him. It rounds out the picture. Could we take Pete Dunne, put him with Baron Corbin, and maybe one of the guys from Imperium or both of the guys? They already tried that with the Forgotten Sons, unfortunately, and make a crew out of that. I don't know. Dunn looks like a wrestler. His Scarface is over. Yeah, I think that's interesting. Like, I'm just not connecting with him on an emotional level where I hate him or I'm like, wow, this guy comes through the camera. He's got all the wrestling skills. I'm just trying to figure out it creatively in my mind how to get max value out of him, because the digit lock thing is jump the shark. Dunn finds Theory and drives a knee into his shoulder, works on the ribs, fingers, and shoulder again. So we're working good arm heat here. This match goes on and on and on, but in the end, Gargano comes back with one final beat to Lorcan for the pin to win. So they get Dunn fucked off. Yeah. Shit can done. And you think that Gargano's going to do the dive. He does the dive, but now it's not just a dive. I'm so athletic that I can hook you in a tornado DDT and hit you with that. That's what takes Dunn out and leaves him on the floor to clear the way for the finish with Gargano to hit it on Lorcan. So Gargano looks like a superhero here. One thing I thought they missed huge on, and this is just me as a comedian, in the very beginning, we had the spot with Dunn and Austin Theory first, where in the promo where he fucks his fingers over, then Austin Theory selling it in Regal's office. Then they get in the ring to do their entrance and do a high five. And they had it on the wrong side because he sells his hand afterwards, but the high five should have been with the hand with the hurt fingers. It wasn't. It was on the outside. So they just needed to switch spots on that. So they built to the sight gag, and then they missed the fucking sight gag of having to tag with the hurt fingers. They did that a couple times in the match where he sold it on the tag, but right in the entrance, I was like, oh, fuck, they missed the joke. What are you going to do? Happens. It happens. But the Way get the win on this, and I was kind of surprised with that, even though the Way is an established group and Dunn and Lorcan are just more shooters. I thought we were going to get shenanigans here going into Great American Bash. We get a clean finish, so be it. After the match, the Way celebrates. Gargano backs up the ramp with his arms in the air until Killer Cross comes out and attacks him from behind, dropping him with a big forearm shot. Fans chant, "You suck at Cross," and boo him now. Theory checks on Gargano as Cross returns to the stage, standing with Scarlett, looking beautiful. And that was that. Cross gets his heat on Gargano. I don't know if him burying him in the promo is obviously the get back for that. But like I said, I don't know what level of these guys are all on the same page. We get a brief video package of Frankie Monet. The encore of her world premiere is coming. Back to commercial, back from the break, and we see the battery charging again goes from 40 to 41%. Oh my. Joe's backstage with Cross and Scarlett. Cross says, "So these are the new rules." He reminds Joe he can't do anything unless he's provoked. Joe steps aside and Cross and Scarlett exit the building, apparently kicked out. Scarlett stops and sees that Joe turns back around to Pete Dunne, staring him down. Must be nicer throughout the show as more and more people storm off or get kicked out of the small backstage area. You actually have room to spread out and things aren't all hot and sweaty and smell like a fucking camel's crotch when you get back there, like most locker rooms. Rumor is Canadian Spaceman that Cross and Scarlett are being broke up, sent to different WWE brands by McMahon. Yeah, yeah, dummy. I kind of saw something with Cross doing a cryptic thing like that post this morning, and I saw a story that Scarlett got a tryout. So that's interesting to me of why they would do that, and I don't really have a problem with it. It seems to me if you're going to keep the same entrance for the main roster, you'd want her with them. But I don't know. We watched Scarlett Bordeaux in Impact, and she can wrestle. She's not, fucking a Meltzer 5-star Dean Malenko, Owen Hart, but definitely they could use her to some degree. But will they do the same shit they've done with Eva Marie with her, or will they put her in tits and biceps and do some dumb shit that way? So by no means am I saying she's holding Killer Cross back. But Killer Cross can make it on his own too. Her, I don't trust that they won't fuck up her storyline just to test them both. Yeah, Scarlett versus Disco was really good. Let's see. Announced for next week is Ember Moon and Blackheart versus Zoe Starks, Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. So triple threat tag match. Interesting. What could possibly go wrong? Elektra Lopez versus Frankie Monet. I talked about this earlier. The elbow drops were really good. I like that on the gimmicks. But in the end, it's Frankie Monet after she hits the Road to Valhalla finisher, that we've seen. Solid. I think Frankie's working hard because she heard the criticism about, that she's a little thicker, but she's a 37-year-old woman, man. I don't got a problem with it. Maybe the gear could help her out without the front stomach cut out of it, because it just gives the fucking fat shamers, any ammo on Twitter. Meanwhile, they can never score a chick nearly as hot as her. So maybe the gear needs a little switch. That's fine. But I think she's always kind of up and down in fluctuation. And I think 5 to 10 pounds on her shows like 20 on camera, and I'm not trying to say nothing bad about her either, but like, I want to see her succeed because she probably is one of the top 3 women wrestlers they have in the entire WWE universe, but she's got to go through all the jump through the hoops bullshit of NXT before she finally gets to Charlotte someday and all that stuff. So, I want to see her succeed, and I don't want to see her get fucking talked about because she's not in the best shape she can be. And I think from what we've seen since her debut, She is working hard. I can see the small changes already, and it takes time. It's a lot easier to put weight on than it is to fucking take it off. Believe me, I know. So I hope she gets not to an unhealthy where she's worried about, oh, what do they think how I look, and eating disorder or mental disorder off of it. I hope she just stays focused in the gym and she fucking shows everybody I'm the fucking best and sticks it right up their ass. So, yeah, Allah, man. After the match, Monet stands tall as her music hits. We go to replays. Monet poses on the ropes. She gets it. She knows where the camera is. She knows how to look. She knows what she's doing. She was almost ripped in AAA. They're saying she looked like a goddess. Yeah, that's when I worked with her on Pro Wrestling Blitz on a big show there, right when she was coming from there. A lot of AAA guys were there. And man, she was a stunner, bro. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw her, like, I'm sitting there changing too. This is a little kayfabe break because there was no girls' locker room, and like, I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, her and fucking Gail Kim are in their underwear standing next to me. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Do not turn your head to the right. You know, Morrison's on the show. I just cut a promo with Morrison for Josh to lift his spirits when he wasn't feeling too good. And I'm like, dude, do not look at this guy's super hot wife standing next to you. And guess so. Imagine that in your head, bro. Is your old fucking hacker, the terrorist, ugly as shit, and here's two of the hottest women in wrestling history standing there in their bra and panties next to you. Can't look. Good times. Shit. Mackenzie Mitchell's backstage with Bronson Reed asking about last week's warning from Santos Escobar. Reed brings up how he recently dominated Escobar and wonders what more does he want? Hit Row interrupts, and Isaiah Swerve Scott apparently wants the NXT North American title. Top dollar. AJ Francis taunts Reed and steps to him as Ashante, the Adonis. I like these names. Looks at the camera with a warning for Everrise. Hit Row walks off as Top Dollar tells Reed he's not even from North America. Back to commercial. That popped me. Back from the break, and we see the video of Everrise trying to spray paint Top Dollar's SUV, but they catch him. Dude, I'm a mark for fucking Top Dollar, bro. It shows you, like, I saw these guys wrestle one other time before. I've seen them on the indies a couple times. But the one dude with the darker hair is the lead guy, and the other guy just plays a great follow-up idiot to him. They're outside with baklavas on, and they're gonna spray paint the big SUV, but then the window rolls down and the homeboy says it's pretty easy to tell who you are when you got your own t-shirts on, and he goes, we've been made. And they drop the fucking spray paint and fucking run away like idiots, man. These guys have good comedic timing. They have good chemistry. They come through the camera. They know that their job is to play the fucking, you know, butt of the joke. And that's a fun place to be if you don't mind it. And you're like, dude, I'm getting fucking paid the same as everybody else here. I don't have to take any bumps, and I can just be the fucking waka waka guy. Seemed to work out pretty well for R-Truth for about 25 fucking years. You know, save your spine, be the entertainment. And these guys have it, whether they're doing the morning talk show thing or even in the ring. They have the skills. I like their gear. I think I marked out, I don't remember if you guys ever had one of these things, but it was like the paint art thing. I remember my cousin had one where you'd put the paint on it and it splatter arts and pushes it all out. But their gear looks like that or a Jackson Pollock painting, you know, really just paint thrown against it. I thought it looked pretty cool. I kind of really liked their gear, and I was pumped before the match even hit because I liked Hit Row too. I like the guy who's, even though I guess he fucking outs himself as a mark on the show where he goes and looks for WWE treasures or whatever. But in ring, he's a big, intimidating dude with a good look to him, man. And I thought the guy who kind of plays the third banana in this, to Swerve, like he kind of looks, he reminded me of JTG during this. I don't know how I feel about, I don't like this when LAX does it and they got the fucking straps down on their overalls or whatever. That's just somebody's begging to get their fucking finger taken off in there. And it doesn't seem like, you're like, how could that happen, dude? Like, I saw it with Commander Aziz's fucking outfit this week too, and they had the parade general outfit on the ropes. Dude, if you were coming off the corner and you just hooked your fucking finger in there and you're going over the top rope or something, dude, your finger could be bent completely upside down like in a second. And it's because of costuming, things like that, chains and shit like that could be like, it's dangerous to anybody you're in the ring with. So, you know, that's one thing I'm like, it always scares me a little bit. Not that anything happened in this match, but I don't like those opportunities to have somebody get hurt that could be corrected with a fashion choice. You know what I mean? JTG looks awesome right now in the NW. Dude, JTG is a fucking phenomenal worker, man. Like one of the easiest guys I was ever able to direct that was a superstar who came back to OVW to do business. Just a fun guy to be around and always can help punch up an idea, man. So I hope JTG really gets over in NWA, and not just because of the sympathy of the loss of Shad, you know, like I'm glad he can carry that torch and that he's still got spotlight on him. And I think that's enough for the rest of his career to be a baby face, you know, empathetic to the crowd. So, but we get Everrise versus Hit Row here, and really good, man. Match back and forth, tag match. Dollar comes back in. Everrise tries to double team him. He fights him off. They manage to dump Big Man over to the floor. Everrise shows off some. Parker goes for a suicide dive, but Dollar meets him with a big forearm. Dollar comes back in, overpowers Martel, and sends him into the corner for the big splash. Adonis tags back in, levels Martin with a right hand. Dollar tags back in for the assisted power bomb, inverted neck breaker with Adonis. Dollar covers for the pin to win. Winners are Hit Row. I think we knew this for the jump, but I was still into this match. I wasn't like, oh, we know who's winning. This was a good match until the end. This is where video games and fucking and the indies have ruined wrestling of keeping it safe. And I've seen some indie guys try this exact move, and it was on Botchamania. Who the fuck was it? We call him Taint, but fucking what the fuck is their name in Immortal? Oh my God, that's gonna drive me nuts. It's like a biker squad, aces and eights, like squad, and I can't remember their name right now off the top of my head, and it's gonna drive me nuts. But they gave it to Taint, who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing either, and they just about broke his fucking neck, dude. It was bad. So now Big Man's got him up in the power bomb, and other bro's supposed to come under and give him the fucking RKO, like while he's upside down, so it's not with even his face coming to the ground. There's no way that the guy taking the move, the Big Man delivering the power bomb, and the dude doing the run by on the cutter are going to be on the neck breaker, are going to be able to fucking time this right, especially as green as these guys are. Somebody's going to get a fucking broken neck. If you want to do, and they were just trying to do Dudley Death Drop on that indie show, like you really got to have the pacing down and do it 100 times. To take a power bomb from that Big Man would have been enough, and then have old boy come and hit him with the knee or off the top rope splash or a rocket launcher splash, something along those lines. But the conglomeration of trying to hit a power bomb and a neck breaker at the same time, the guy taking it, his head is always going to go down first, and then his body's jacking in to the back of his spine to his neck. And dude, there's no way that it's safe where you're in the back like, oh, that was great. I take that 100 times. It's scary every time, and the mistiming on it usually happens a lot. So they really need to fucking nix that finisher. I don't mind a double team thing. Power bomb from the Big Man is enough. Fucking tag, climb up, and do a big fucking missile launcher splash. Do not, like, that shit needs to end. Whatever that finish is that Hit Row's doing, you just can't do it. And there's no way that a guy who's been on the main roster a long time is going to feel comfortable taking that from them. I definitely wouldn't. But I like this match except for the finish. After the match, Hit Row celebrates in the ring as we go to replays. They kick him over, and then they all get down and stunt and hit the beauty pose. That was good. Backstage, Mackenzie's with Mercedes Martinez, informing she'll be facing Boa and Gia Lee in the mixed tag team match next week. Mercedes says she doesn't mind. She doesn't make friends that well, but she's ready to go. Mercedes is suddenly attacked from behind. Jake Atlas makes the save and levels Boa with a kick. Atlas helps Mercedes up and says it looks like he just joined the fight, or she just joined the fight. Jake Atlas makes a save and levels Boa. Oh, because it was the fucking guy and girl. Yeah, dude, Mercedes Martinez has a friend. Her name is Genocide. So that's who I'd call. We get a brief promo for tonight's main event, then back to commercial, then back from break, and the battery has been charged from 50 to 51%. 50-51. Oh, no. It should be 51-50, right? Jake Atlas and Mercedes Martinez versus Boa and Gia Lee is confirmed for next week. There'll also be a face-off between MSK and Ciampa and Thatcher, where I'm sure some chairs will get thrown because that's what they do now. Then we get to our main event, Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly. Wow. I mean, I've been burned by Adam Cole like this before, but dude, my heart was crushed in this match. And I know this is phony wrestling or whatever, but it takes a lot for old Hacker's fucking Grinch heart to grow an inch that day. But these guys did exactly, I think it was like the fuse we were talking about it on. It might have been, I'm pretty sure it was, of the Rob Van Dam, Jerry Lynn standoff spot that's become, Lance did it too, the duck this and fucking come through, slip that, boom, boom, till we get to the face off and the crowd claps. That shit has jumped the shark. It was cool when they did it back in the day, and there's been interesting Bryan Daniel versions of it or whatever, but like now it's just phony. We know when we go into that sequence, it's just to get to the standoff for self-egregious clapping from a bunch of marks who want to fucking get their own shit in. I said last week, we need to stop that. Just keep going through where they would face off and clap and go another 2-3 sequences. Then we have unbelievable chain wrestling in the struggle for dominance, which is what wrestling really is. I might even say this on Developmental on my channel, and John Paz is on our Patreon. And that's exactly what these fucking guys did. Like within 4, I don't think they're listening. I'm like, oh, it's me. But like, I think that's what needs to happen to show wrestling for what it is and not the phony bullshit that it gets exposed as with fucking Adam Cole hip tossing fucking Carmelo into the fucking barriers in the opening match like a complete fucking joke. These guys struggled back and forth. Now, I think the Kushida thing with Back to the Future needs to be gone. Kushida is a brand that needs to be focused on. Even though saying the name Kushida has more money on it than Nakamura in just like the branding ways. If I didn't know what Kushida or Nakamura was and fucking I had a product to sell and I never seen wrestling and everything, and I was just say, which one of these names do you like better, Kushida or Nakamura, to sell a product? Kushida has more of a human babyface feel to it just naturally in the marketing world. So why are we wasting the fuck on Marty McFly, dude? That needs to stop now, today. And the guy's awesome in the ring. This story that him and Kyle O'Reilly told of the back and forth with the jiu-jitsu versus the fucking chain wrestling was awesome. It was awesome for like 6-7 minutes straight. I'm going, holy shit, this is fucking good, dude. And I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. Then, out of nowhere, the Indies rear its ugly fucking head, and we go into Insiguris, flips in the corner, fucking a bunch of dumb bullshit, clothesline shit, like bodies, like, dude, head scissors, big suplexes, strong style, hitting each other without selling. We were painting a fucking Monet masterpiece in the chain story they were telling in the back and forth, really making wrestling look shoot and a struggle. Then we get to this weird spot where these guys, whether they're indie or whether they're just Japanese wrong style marks or whatever, they take this beautiful story that they were telling and then they put their hands below their ass and they shit all over it. They just shit in their hands and wipe it all over their faces, bro. I don't know why or how this agenting keeps happening, especially when you're painting something so incredible. And then they just go, you know what? Fuck that. Let's go back over here and do a bunch of egregious indie shit that kills that whole story that we just set up. Only to get back to it with a hope spot at the end that Kushida is going to get the hoverboard lock on, which also needs to be renamed immediately to the Kushida lock. And fucking then it's a roll through back and forth. And then the match let's see, the match finally ends. O'Reilly turns the hoverboard lock into a roll up for the win, where they do the ROH thing, the bow down Japan mark out shit, because that's what they're all about. And I don't got a problem with that. But that 3 minutes in the match that led into all this, where they went from shooter, Luthez, hooker, believable UFC ground and pound fight style into some phony wrestling, that shit needs to be gone. And I would pull them into the locker room to promo them, not in an angry way, to be like, you guys, that was one of the fucking best things I've ever seen on NXT TV, right up until 6 minutes 30 seconds when you went into business for yourself. You had one of the best matches I've ever seen going, and then you totally fucking lit it on fire, tap danced on it, and pissed it out. Like you guys have to stop going into biz for yourself to get this phony wrestling bullshit in. And I would do it in tape review, actually, in front of the whole thing. I'd be like, this is where we need to go with these guys, and this is what we need to stop doing overall, because it hurts our product completely. And it just shows that these guys are brilliant artists in the ring at what they do. But then for some reason, politics, TV, bad agenting, or them not knowing that they're of why they shouldn't do that keeps rearing its ugly head, man. And it was brutally bad because I was so into it. And they just kicked me right in the throat. After the match, like I said, baby faces homoerotically hug each other and show Japanese respect. And then Cole and O'Reilly brawl at ringside after Cole does a run in to attack O'Reilly, which, after what I just saw there, O'Reilly should be able to handle Cole, in my opinion, in under 2 minutes and fucking choke him out. But it'll probably be Cole up because he's a bigger politicker. And welcome to wrestling. Security runs down to break him up. Samoa Joe runs in, and then a man attacks Kushida in the ring with a mask or, a hoodie on, beats him down, and then reveals himself to be Roderick Strong. Tyler Rust just watches from the apron along with Hideki Suzuki, when reality is Hideki Suzuki and Tyler Rust should have fucked over and taken out all the security and maybe even Samoa Joe. Malcolm Bivens enters. I might call him Michael Bivens because Boyz II Men, ABC, BBD, the East Coast family. Enters the ring and brings Kushida's NXT Cruiserweight title belt in, shows it to Strong, and then lays it over down Kushida. Bivens says, "This is the Diamond Mine." Fans boo as the Diamond Mine stands together over Kushida, staring down at him, and that is how NXT goes off the air. I thought the setup of this show was really good, but the main and the fucking opener, which could have been absolutely brilliant, shot themselves in the foot to get their own shit in and not work psychology the right way. I thought Frankie Monet shined great in this, and Zoe Stark and Io Shirai did as well. Heels got heat. Really, we really got to take that finisher away from Hit Row. There's no way it's going to be safe and somebody's going to get hurt. And I thought those guys doing business, what the fuck are their names? Sorry. Everrise. I think Everrise, I don't know if I'm hooked on that name, Everrise, even though it's like a morning show type thing. I think those guys are some of my favorite dudes on the fucking show. Gargano's got comedic timing, but how do we combine that with being a fucking badass little wrestler? I don't think you can. I think you got to choose one or the other. And Austin Theory looks great. That was the other thing too with The Way. I really liked the fucking gear. That's one thing Gargano does very, very well, is merchandising his look, the gear, and whatnot. And I like the yellow and blue gear that they had on. It may represent something that I'm not cool enough to know what the fuck it is. But there's a lot of good in NXT, man. It's just 2 or 3 major adjustments that have to be made to reel these guys in. And I don't like people talking shit to Regal like they can just fucking big league them. I think that's bad. And I think Samoa Joe was brought in to stop that last week. However, we get more big leaguing of Regal from Cole. Like, that would have been good if Cole was trying to storm off and tell Regal, fuck you. You don't want me here, I won't be here. And he tries to and then opens the door, and Joe tells him, go sit your fucking ass back down. You're paid to be here through NXT. You're going to fucking sit there through NXT. I don't give a fuck what you do, but you're not leaving here storming out like a little kid. We missed those scenes this week where Joe is supposed to be the heavy and fucking really put it on him. But Cole gets to walk around and do whatever the fuck he wants, only to come back in and run in. I think it's things like that we really need to show the regulation on the locker room of these guys being out of hand. Now we have to show the other side of that coin, not just the threat of Joe choking them out, but big leaguing them. They're way too comfortable in the locker room. That's the story. How do you fucking take a guy who's fucking walking around with his chest puffed out, who's 145 pounds, and show him that he's not that he's really this, and fucking in front of the rest of the locker room and have somebody snicker at him like, okay, dude, look at you, got fucking heated on by management. Should have stayed small. Like, we could be playing all that kind of stuff out, man. There's a lot of opportunity there, but I think they pre-taped some stuff early in the day and Joe wasn't there, and I think that hurt the storyline from last week. Regal should really be not frustrated, but confident now that he can run things the way he wants because he's got Joe as the fucking Iceman. So I thought this show was good. There was just some, and it had me react in a certain way because of the bad mistakes psychology-wise from the guys who think they're over, who probably will never make it to the main roster, in my opinion. So, yeah, man, we'll see what happens with the Stooge line this week. We had a good discussion with Russo and Stevie based on what I had talked about on the Friday locker room and also the Monday locker room, of what I thought the SmackDown Hell in the Cell match was to undercut AEW, and is there a Stooge pipeline given that type of information up? So that could be happening through NXT. We'll see as things progress, if any other like things that make you go make you scratch your head pop up this week. So, but next level review next week. Hopefully Big Ray will be back. Hopefully the Roadcaster Pro will be working here in a minute after I fucking figure out what's going on here, man. But big shout out to the vet. You can follow him at Opinion Haver. He was ready to do the run in here, but apparently management said, no, this is a one-man show right now. So hope you guys didn't mind the solo hacker show. Thanks for hanging with us through the restart. If you're listening to the beginning of the show and it seems a little wonky, we had some weird tech issues today. So we'll try to get those resolved. You guys follow us, subscribe, patreon.com/Hami Media Group. If you are, thank you already for being keeping the platform alive and making sure we can keep doing shows 7 days a week. Ugh, oh my God. But follow everything. There's new Stevie Ray TV content, a lot of high-level stuff. Matt's been working his ass off on great Stevie Ray stuff outside of the wrestling world. A lot of fun last night on the A show with April Hunter and Aaron Stevens having a titty flex off. Yeah, oh, I like that. Look at those big gimmicks. And Idol's doing some shoot, bang, bang, and talking heavy talk on the China documentary, as I think April worked her, and they were all Kowalski students, April and Idol and China and Strangler Steve. We've got a hell of a Killer Kowalski contingent here of great minds at Hami Media Group. So I'm excited to go back and watch all that. The beautiful people just emailed me. Their schedule is tight, so they're doing their show tonight. So I'm going to be right up against the editing, but it only takes one smile from them to go, that's okay, ladies. Whatever. Damn. Sorry, Vet. I'm sorry. Sorry I didn't live up to the hype, man. Vet always coming over strong on Hameen. I don't know why, man. Never get any love. But Rip Rogers won't show me any love either, but you can go to patreon.com/Hami Media Group and subscribe to the $5 tier to get the Hustler FR podcast, and you'll know what I know when I know it, infidels. But plenty of shit going down. this week. Get at me at bin_Hameen on Twitter and Hacker Hameen on Instagram. And thanks for resharing all the Hameen Media Group stuff on Twitter. You guys have been real helpful with that. So I want to say thank you to all of our listeners who are turned engagers and then turned into advocates. So that really helps us out a lot, man. But ya Allah, sorry, Vet, if I stunk to join up, but I'll try and do better next time. So shout out to Big Ray, and he'll be back here hopefully this week, and catch all your favorite shows here. Hameen Media Group Infidels. Ya Allah.